Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I am a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today on April 17, 2021 at approximately 6:20 a.m. PST. Well, yesterday was apparently a botched job, because for the first time since I started, we actually missed yesterday. Hectic day doesn't really amount to a lot, but it's one that I will now have to start over. Obviously, I can't get the 16th back. As I said before, you cannot change the past. Okay, the reality of it is, once it's done, you can't go back. You can talk about it, you can look at the things that you wish you had done, especially where it comes to things that you've said to people or things that you've done in the past that you're not content with the outcome. Gee, that sort of thing of, gee, I wish I hadn't done that. Well, I made a solid run, and much like other things I've done in the past, one glitch has kind of derailed the whole idea of a perfect attendance. However, that being said, I'm looking at it at this point going, okay, I had a setback, and this is way more relevant to me personally than it may be to other people, although I'm sure you've got things that you've looked at that you've done and gone, gee, I really wish I hadn't done that, or I wish I had done that. Okay, you cannot undo a slip up. You cannot undo. Okay, you can compensate for it. But I like the way the song, I think it was Lady Gaga, put it. Don't ask me the name of the song, but the phrase in it was that when you break, if you break a mirror, you can fix the mirror, but you'll always see the crack. Well, the reality is I'm not perfect. Okay, so I've made a miscalculation with these videos that I didn't get one out yesterday, at least not as near as I could figure. Guess I probably should have checked to see if I just accidentally deleted it on my end and it's still on video. So it might be. In either event, I can't alter the fact I don't have it here. Same as with anything from your past. Whatever you've done, the reality is it takes a lifetime to build trust. Okay, even trust in yourself. It takes a heartbeat to destroy it. Okay, to put a kink in it. You buy a new car. The first accident you have with it, you can certainly get it done up. There are great mechanics out there, great body workers that can put it back together, make it look right, but you yourself will always know there's a crack underneath it, or there's a dent that isn't showing anymore. You cannot alter that. Okay, same was with the videos. So I'm starting again today, as it were, on day one. Now, let's see if I can manage to do this right and not have another break. Well, from the 6th to the 16th, that's what, a month and 10 days. Okay, not bad. AKA 40 days, approximately. Okay, I'm going to try and make this one work and do my best to make the next run longer. Okay, it's going to take focus, it's going to take effort. Like anything that you're in the process of correcting a behavioral pattern, it takes time to get into it. Now, the only person on the planet that can be successful for you is you. You can talk to other people, you can get their assistance, but ultimately you're the one going to have to do the work. The hard part with making a miscalculation that you're not content with is not the other people forgiving you. It's you forgiving you. This is why karmic law is so important. Okay, do unto others as you desire them to do unto you. Doesn't matter how you phrase it, doesn't matter how you live your life in a lot of ways. If you're living your life in a way and you're treating people in a way you would not appreciate, don't treat them that way. Okay, expecting perfection of yourself may be one of the most overstated complications in your life. So many people try and tell you that, you have to be perfect, you've got to get it right. Now, admittedly, where it comes to certain professions, kind of important. Let's take a look at, for instance, medical operations. Kind of important that the person gets it absolutely right when they put you back together. Okay. But the thing you gotta remember with all people, there are no perfect people on the planet. Okay? In all fairness, to the best of my recollection, there never have been. There's been people that others look at and go, oh, that person's perfect, and they put them up on a pedestal. The problem does not arise when you put somebody else on a pedestal. The problem arises when that person believes they're on that pedestal. And this brings us around to the other idea of what many people are calling the elitist. Okay, the elites that are running the world. An elite person is somebody very good, in my opinion, is somebody that is very good at what they do. That doesn't mean they're of any more value than anybody else. But when you take a look at business people, if they're running major corporations, certainly look to them. They're the ones who've done it successfully. But if they run a major corporation and everybody thinks they're a creep, they're not doing it as well as they could be doing it. You may be dealing with a small company that treats everybody beautifully. Okay. And with that in mind, when the small company treats everybody beautifully, they feel really welcome. There's the person, in my opinion, that is the most wealthy. Now, you have to look, well, you don't have to. Okay, when you look at the way you're dealing with things, understand success is simple. Okay, the trick to becoming successful is to eliminate everything in your life that you don't feel is making you successful. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Like I said, this is a live recording, meaning I do not go back over it and alter anything. Okay, I never do. This is why I'm not going to go back and go, oh, here's the video from yesterday. Can't go backwards and do it again. Okay. But get it when you eliminate everything that you're not content with in your life, that's possible to get rid of, or possible to reorganize. Once you've eliminated everything you're not content with, all you'll have left is a life that you're content with. Okay. Now, it's come to my attention that a lot of the time when we've done something that we feel is off kilter, people say you're haunted by the memory. And rest assured, especially if you remember past lives, then those memories can be absolutely horrendous. Okay, I'm one of the few, I'm one that remembers a lot of my past lives. Okay, which is why I bill myself as a paranormal adept. I've got a lot of things going on that I recall, that I can explain, that I can relate to. But the real critical factor at this point is, how do you deal with life today? Okay, past, present, and future, yes, they are pertinent. The past is how you got to where you are. Other than that, it serves no functional purpose. Okay, you can look at the past, look at things that have happened, look at things that were done, and work to get things organized. But you cannot change the fact it's happened. The future, there are so many possibilities that it's up to you what you do with them. Now, you've got a choice. You can believe in fate or freedom of choice. And let me explain. If you believe in fate, okay, or you believe in destiny, what you're saying is, no matter what I do, I'm going to end at this point. Making freedom of choice absolutely an illusion. Because if you've got two roads you can go down, and it doesn't matter which one you go down, you're going to end up at this destination. Well, the reality is this choice is an illusion, because the outcome is already there. Now that is where fate comes in. Destiny, it was meant to be this sort of thing. Okay. When you believe in freedom of choice, These two paths lead two different directions. One leads this way, one leads that way. Once you start down one, you cannot all of a sudden go back and get on this one without having and not have seen what's down this road. Which means you've already made a choice. It's no longer possible to alter. Net result, because the two are mutually exclusive, it's an issue of either fate or destiny exist, or they don't. There is no middle ground, at least not from anything I've seen. Now, if somebody can explain to me how there can be a middle ground, I'm all ears. And if you try, when you desire to connect with me, below this video, there's a whole list of contact points. Okay, that you can find me on, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, or on the first Friday of every month, you can drop into Spaced Out Radio on the internet at spacedoutradio.com. You'll find them all over the place. Okay. Where we discuss aliens, we discuss alien technologies, this sort of thing. And again, tracking me down is not really that hard. It's not like I hide from the world as far as the internet goes. On the other hand, I'm not exactly as well known as I will be one day. And you'll notice I said will be. In time, this will happen. But it's a side effect of being on a regular basis. Now, I do apologize for missing yesterday. Things apparently got screwy. Okay, but when you're aiming at altering your life for what you consider the better, okay, that's when you turn around and go, okay, where am I heading? What am I walking away from? What is it I no longer am content with? You've got to have a purpose. You've got to have an idea of what you're not content with and why you're changing it. And rest assured, if the only reason you're changing something is because you're not content with it, that's great. Get an idea in mind. You've got to have a purpose. You've got to have a plan on how to alter it. Now, the plan is the easy part. Okay. I keep a list handy so I can keep things organized. As you can see, it doesn't always work that well. Okay. But at least you can go back and sort things out. Now, you've got to have a plan, a purpose. You've got to be persistent. Now, from March 6th until now, well, until yesterday, I managed to do a video every day. Yesterday got a little screwy. Okay, so we start again today. I can't alter the fact I missed yesterday, but I can focus and make sure I don't miss another one. So we'll see how well that works. Then you've got to have the patience to let it take place. Because let's remember that no matter what you're doing, it didn't take you a day to get in the state you're in usually. Now, yes, there are accidents and all of a sudden you can go from your life is in one way and all of a sudden it collapses and goes a different direction. That falls under the category of, what you can't see can't hurt you. Take a look at the number of people that have been hit by cars without seeing them coming. That might be a hint that that whole concept is a mistake. Okay. Now, we can take that to extremes and go, well, what about falling? Well, in all fairness, from my understanding, there's only been about half a dozen people that have died due to a fall. Everybody else has died due to the sudden stop at the bottom. When you get your mindset, and this is where the spiritual guide comes in, and this is directly to the people that are claiming to be spiritual guides. Okay. Are you teaching the people that you're guiding to fear where they came from or fear where they're going? If you're teaching fear, you're perpetuating a philosophy that leads to problems. Okay. It leads to such things as we've seen, as war, as famine, as theft. You name the list, it carries on. Okay. Fear has never led to peace. Okay. Well, actually, fear does. Well, no, it doesn't, because what it does is it internalizes it all, and internalizing your emotions tends to be dangerous to you. However, expressing your emotions in the way that you're feeling can be detrimental to a lot of people. Okay. When you're talking about spiritual guidance, and this applies to what people are calling New Age, which, rest assured, is way older than the modern versions. Okay, your mainstream religions, your ancient so-called pagan religions, all of these, if you're standing there and you're promoting fear your maker, fear death, fear life, fear doesn't work well. Okay. And this concept that goes hand in hand with fear is peace through superior firepower. Now, the reality is, from everything I've seen, peace is not attained by superior firepower. Quiet is attained by superior firepower, because if you figure the other guy's going to shoot you or the other guy's going to kill you, you're going to stay quiet. Even in nature, fear promotes the animals to go into hiding and stay really, really quiet. That's called quiet. That's not called peace. Where it comes to your belief in a higher power, whatever you call it, fearing that higher power, and I was talking to somebody the other day, and I like the way they put it. Perhaps if we change the word fear to respect, it would make more sense. Because absolutely respect somebody that has more power than you. Okay, that has figured out how to work things more effectively than you. Absolutely respect them. Envy is also not a negative emotion. Envy goes, gee, there's somebody that is doing something better than I am. Gee, I'd like to be able to do it like that. With envy, you can approach the other person and go, how did you manage to do that? And this is why I tell you, where it comes to running a business or a household, if you desire to run one effectively, talk to people that have done it successfully. My corporeal parents, were fantastic at it. Okay, I honestly don't recall them fighting. I'm certain they probably did, but I don't recall it. But I certainly recall the conversations they had that got a little complicated on occasion, where everything was worked out right there. They didn't chase us kids off to hide from the discussions. Okay, the only thing that they did that they probably, in my opinion, I might have done better if they'd have sat down with me, and while they were going through the hard times, explained what the finances were doing a little bit more effectively. Hence, I wouldn't have gone through what I went through. But that's a problem. That is a issue that I dealt with, that I'm in the process of dealing with my own son. But you talk to somebody that has done it successfully. Now, from a spiritual standpoint, fearing your spiritual creator, your God, whatever name you call it by, fearing them doesn't work well. Okay. Respecting them, on the other hand, does. Now, I only promote 3 laws. Okay. Now, take a look at the commandments or the guidelines that you live by, and compare them to these 3. If you find one that doesn't fit inside these 3, absolutely, please drop me a line and let me know, because I would really like to know if there's any that don't fit in it. Be true to yourself. Do unto others as you desire them to do unto you. Energy out, energy in. Okay, those 3 karmic laws, each are equally important. Okay, it's kind of like the 3 legs on a 3-legged stool. If one of them isn't there, the stool is going to fall over. This is why you don't find people standing a ladder up without leaning it against a wall. Okay, or against something else. But when you're dealing with life, okay, if you follow those 3 laws, and again, absolutely compare them to your own religious beliefs, your own spiritual guides, and compare them to that, and see if they fit. If you find a circumstance where it doesn't fit into those 3, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. Now, most of the information that I've got, I am putting in the form of booklets. I'm currently in the process, actually I think I'm in the process of writing 31 books. But the ones that I've got completed and that are available below, that's getting to be annoying. Half sec. Okay, I'm back. Take a look at those. If you take a look at the list below the video, you'll find a list of different publications that I have already got in print that can be ordered directly through me. For the moment, I'm the only one that can be ordered through. Okay. But you can take a look below the video. But give us a thumbs up, please. Okay, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of information that's coming out. I've been putting up, there's a couple of other videos that I've been looking at getting done, and I keep having to postpone them. Which is where this little thing comes in here. And that's my plan to make sure that I get them. Okay. This is my list of things that I'm going to be doing today. Now, one of the biggest things that I always look at is this. You make sure when you're putting a list together, right? Boy, this is really a scattered podcast today. Podcast, blog. I don't know what the term is for it. Don't really matter. Okay, call it what you will. It's still scattered. Okay, hopefully the next ones I do will be better. At least I'm going to do my best to make them better. Okay. Now, as I said, this is a live recording. And don't go back and alter it. What you see is what you get. Okay. But when you're aiming at doing something successfully, talk to people that have done it successfully. If you're guiding people in a spiritual path, if you're claiming to be in that position, admit your own shortfalls. Because rest assured, people will follow someone that has flaws much faster, much more effectively than someone that doesn't. Okay, on the whole. Now, yes, you can put somebody on a really big pedestal. But here's the funny thing. Okay, do I believe in God? Absolutely. Usually I refer to him as God, Source, Universe. There's a lot of different names. But do I fear him? Not in the slightest. But here's the funny thing. A lot of people worship him. Okay. And they go, well, we have to, we must worship God. God requires worshipers. Well, think about that for just a nanosecond. Tiny wee part of a second. Did God have humans around when he made the rest of the universe? Okay. And if not, how did he sustain himself if he requires worship? He does desire and encourage respect. But that being said, he also comes forward and tells you, do unto others as you desire them to do unto me. Okay. Now, I happen to have a Christian background. I've got a lot of other backgrounds in previous lives, but we'll settle for Christian for this one. Okay. Now, this said, am I perfect? No. Of course, there's another saying that comes straight out of that goes, let he who has not sinned cast the first stone. Rest assured, I've made my mistakes. A lot of them. Okay. And for those of you that are going, well, what happens if you're aiming at becoming world known? Well, I'm already world known. Okay, I know this because of some of the things that have happened in my past. And the fact I'm on the internet means there's no way I can tell you, well, there's probably a way, but I have no idea how to tell you what different countries I've already been seen in or who has actually subscribed to my channel. Okay, I know 2 days ago when I looked, I was sitting at 106, I think I was sitting at 106 followers, which I'm aiming for the same target that many of the big YouTubers were aiming for. Now, I don't know if they look at it and go, I'm going to watch my membership, my subscription levels, and see how far I go. My goal is simple. Get the message out to people that you don't have to be perfect to be of value. Okay, and when we're talking value, we are not talking about your financial pocketbook. We are not talking about the value of that. Okay, I've met people with thousands upon, well, literally millions of dollars. I knew one chap that I mean, this guy had way too much money for his own good, I think. I don't know, maybe it was just an odd choice. He had a Ferrari in the parking lot, and on the bumper sticker of a 44 of a 944, what was it, 944 Ferrari, right? He had on the bumper sticker on it. Now this was 40 years ago. He had a bumper sticker that said, "My Lotus is in the shop." Now, for you to have so much money, in my opinion, especially at that time, I was working as a dishwasher, and to see somebody with that kind of a valuable car putting a bumper sticker on it was definitely a little bit overstated. The comical part was he did have a Lotus, and it was in the shop. Okay. In my case, it won't make a whole lot of difference how much money I've got. I don't require it from the standpoint of, gee, I want to have all the finest things in life. Okay. Those blue shells you see over my shoulder there. Okay. They are containers from button mushrooms that I buy at the store. But they fit perfectly in the old CD racks. Okay, for sorting out figures. Now, this is just one of the figures I paint. I'm going to be working on some of these today. Obviously, this ain't going to fit in one of those blue bins, unless those bins are a lot further away than I thought. But these are just fantasy figures, but I paint them with brushes, with toothpicks. Never with toothbrushes. I don't even know how I'd go about doing that with a toothbrush. But I will be working on them. I will be working on them today. It's just one of the things I'm going to be doing because I haven't done it for a little bit. But now, where the heck are we? We are coming down to an end. I do apologize. Today was extremely scattered, very poorly set up. As I said, I'm not perfect, but I do apologize for that anyway. Again, thank you so much for your encouragement to get doing this. I'm not perfect. I do stumble, and needless to say, I trip over my own tongue. But when I come back tomorrow, we'll do our best to have this organized and have it worked out to come at a more effective time. In the meantime, get on with your day. I know you've got things to do. I got a whole list of things I got to get done today. But until we talk again, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.